uh, uh, it totally slipped my mind. There's
That's
so
okay.
much going on. There's so much going on. I just moved uh, from one state to another. I moved from Philadelphia. I'm in Marietta, Georgia, right now. And again, I apologize. It's totally slipped my mind until I just saw the message pop up on the phone from you. I said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry."
I've had that happen. No, it's totally fine. I understand that happens, especially when you're moving. I hope it's going okay.
It is. I mean, but it's a transition. I mean, it's a transition. I have a lot of family. I have a lot of family down this way. My father's whole family lived here in the South. My parents been here my whole life. I just never been far as lived down here. I used to when I was younger. You know what I mean? When every summer when school let out, I'll get on the airplane and come here to Atlanta with my parents, and I did that up until 1985. I believe I was 14 when my first sibling was born.
Okay.
And I haven't been back since. Of course, I had the situation where, I mean, I couldn't come.
Yeah.
So for 25 years, but it's good. I mean, my parents is in Florida. I bought mom and dad a house in Florida. I mean, and two of my siblings is in Florida. My younger brother's here in Georgia, where I'm at. I mean, so my father, I have some uncles, some cousins here in Atlanta. I mean, but majority of everybody is in Florida, just a couple hours away. I mean, so, and it was a much needed change for me, just to say the least. And it's only for 5 months, possibly 6 months.
Oh.
I just bought a huge house back up north in Delaware, Wilmington. I mean, Middletown, Delaware. I just purchased a huge home out there, and the home is being built from the ground up.
Wow, so, that's great.
So, so it's exciting. It's exciting, especially coming from where I come from, and especially everything I've been through. It's exciting. I mean, probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me. Being able. I mean, the first is at home. I mean, for myself and for my family. I mean, I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. I mean, it's so insane, crazy in the streets, especially in Philadelphia. I mean, with all this foolishness that's going on, and just a couple of days ago, the cops killed another young man, and things went from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean, they back out there looting, and it's so sad. It's necessary, but it's sad. These men and women, they don't really know how to channel their frustration. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, they're not dealing with it properly, because what are you doing? We come from one of the most privatized places in America, North Philadelphia. It's one of the most privatized places in America, and everybody there is doing whatever they can just to make it from one day to the next. And then you looting and breaking it up. So you just took away. Now my grandmother can't go to the pharmacy. Your grandmother can't go to the pharmacy and get her medication because you looted and broke. I mean, stuff like that. And then jobs. People don't have no jobs. So what do you expect these people to do with no jobs?
Exactly.
And no means. No means to support their family. So they're gonna do what they know how to do, and that's the foolishness you see going on right now. It's so sad, man, and praise be to God, man. My family stay away from that. I'm trying to put my grandkids in a better situation, man, and give them a chance to live, a chance to grow up. I mean, the chance to be, have some decency in their lives instead of around that chaos all the time, man. So, I mean, being able to do that, man, Yeah, I mean, you can't put it into words. Yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful. Yeah, I mean, for everything and everybody. I mean, my whole team. I got so many people that, excuse me, I have so many people that follow me and shadow me on a daily basis to make sure, you know what I mean, I'm okay. You know what I mean? And, I'm fine and this, that, and the other. And I say it all the time. If somebody was to be in front of me telling me all this about everything that's going on, I'll look at them like they was crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's impossible for you to really know what's going on unless you see it with your own eyes, man. And it's sad. Like it's sad. Like I could never imagine this, man. And when I was in, my mother passed away. I referred to my mother earlier. My father's wife. He's been with his wife my whole life. I'm 49 years old, and that lady fed me, put Pampers on me, washed my butt. I mean, she's my mother. I mean, like, and I believe she loved me just the way she loved the other 3 people that came from my womb.
Yeah.
That much. You know what I mean? So, but my mother passed away in 1998. When I was in there and losing my mother that way, it was worse than actually doing that 25 years. This was a woman that was there for me my whole life. She gave me her life. If I called her once, she cried. If I called twice, every phone call I called, if it was 10 times a day, she shedded a tear for me every time. And I lived my life with no regrets. But I'm haunted by the fact that this lady did so much for me, and when she needed me just one time, even for a minute, I couldn't be there for her. I got to live with that for the rest of my life. So, her birthday is coming up, which this time of year make it no easy for me. Her birthday is coming up in a couple of days, the 14th. I'll be in Philly. I'll be back home in Philadelphia, for her birthday. Yeah, we'll go visit her grave. In fact, I'll probably be back in Philadelphia this whole month. I got a serious doctor's appointment that I have coming up on Thursday. I went and saw a physician right before I came down here. I believe it was last Thursday. And it was an ear, nose, and a throat doctor. I was in an accident, and I was in a serious accident, and when they found me, I was unconscious. So when I went to the hospital, and about 3 days later, after I checked out the hospital, they called me. They found something on the X-ray that they didn't see when I was initially there at the hospital 3 days prior. And on your vocal cords, we have wings, and every time you talk, each side of your vocal cord, they flat. So I have no movement right here on my right side, just still. So I don't remember much from the accident. They want to know what I remember. Did I hit my neck? Of course, I hit my head. I had staples to my head. So I don't remember hitting my neck. And when I woke up, they heard my voice like this. And my voice has always been this deep and raspy. So, I was in the process of seeing a ear and a nose and a throat specialist right before the pandemic started. And then the pandemic happened, and then my appointment kept getting pushed back until I just got a new primary care physician, and she ordered me to go see the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and I was able to do that last week. And when you looked on a video when she was doing what she was doing, there wasn't no movement over here. And not only that, it's something that swelled up right here. Something that swelled up right there, and it was baffling to her because she didn't know what it was. And now you're making me nervous. She don't know what it was, and she want to do a CT scan of my neck. They want to do a chest X-ray, and they want to do draw blood and possibly a biopsy. You know what I mean, to try to figure out what it is. You know what I mean. So I need to fly back home on Wednesday. You know what I mean, for my appointment on Thursday. You know what I mean, right before I see the doctor again. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, a good friend of mine is getting married on Saturday, so I'll be there for that. I'll be there for that, and then I'll probably come back here to Marietta on Sunday. I mean, then I'll go
you
back.
traveling a lot.
Hey man, I mean, it's not easy. I mean, but it's quick. You know what I mean? It's not far away. You know what I mean? About an hour and 45 minutes on a plane. You know what I mean? If that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, so yeah, and it's with the pandemic going on. Yeah, I mean, the airports are really scarce right now.
Mm-hmm.
And even so, my plane was full to capacity coming down here. But the airport was empty. But the airport was empty. I was able to go right in, and me and my family was able to go right in, check right through, and get right on the plane. And you know, here we go. You know what I mean? So I had my vehicle transported down here as well. So soon I got off the plane, they called, said, "We here with your vehicle." I said, "I just landed. I'll be there in a couple minutes." So we're able to get around. You know what I mean? And just, try to, and we're in a great area. You know what I mean? So we don't have to go far. I really don't have to get in my car for anything. All the eateries and all the stores and supermarket is right along this road that we on, everything. Yeah, I mean, so we ain't got to go far. Yeah, I mean, so I've had way too much fun just in the couple days I've been here. It's been insane. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you're familiar with the rapper Jadakiss. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
He's a good friend of mine, and every time I do a party, he does the party for me. And lo and behold, unbeknownst to me, I get down here and I'm walking across the street and a van pull up in a cell. How ironic is that? Yeah, I mean, somebody calling my name, I turn around and I go, "What's this?" It's Kiss. It was Jadakiss. So I've been hanging out with him down here for the past couple of days. You know what I mean? So I said,
good. You deserve to have some fun.
Too much fun.
Well, no, not too much.
That's too much fun. I've been having an amazing time, man. I mean, so this 4 years went by so fast. They said, the saying, time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe. Yeah, I mean, it's been 4 years already. It seemed just like yesterday, man. And every day, I mean, like, I'm the 344th exoneree. I'm the 344th person that has been wrongly accused and convicted of a crime that I did not commit, and that was just 4 years ago. That number's probably over 500 now. Every day, you like, when is it going to stop? Is it ever going to stop? I mean, it's so heartbreaking, so heart-wrenching. I just shared something with my family and my friends last week. Is a guy that's incarcerated, and he's where I did most of my time at. In a place called Graysford Penitentiary. Is the biggest and roughest penitentiary in Pennsylvania, and I did most of my time there. This guy been incarcerated since he was 16. He's been incarcerated for about 60 years, and he refused to come home. They try like he's a frail old man. And now they're trying to kick him out, and he refused to be kicked out. Yeah, I mean, and he's like, "What am I gonna do? Where am I go? Like, I mean, what's the plan? I'm not leaving. I'm gonna die right here. I'm not leaving from behind this wall." Yeah, I mean, and how sad is that? People in there every day fighting for their life to come home, and here's a man, fighting for his life to stay there. Yeah. Like I can't even you can't even imagine those things, man. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So I do things like this my mission, my aim is to, inspire people. You know what I mean? And it might not be you directly, you know what I mean, but it might be somebody you know. People want to know how I bridge the gap with my son for 25 years. It was, it wasn't me. Again, I always refer to myself as the luckiest person in the world for so many reasons. I was able to have my family full attention during that time. They stay right with me. They try to encourage me every day. Tomorrow's gonna be better than today. Every day. My father, it was like an echo, and I laugh and joke with my dad now. Like I used to tell him, like, what the hell are you talking about? And his favorite thing he used to say every time I call son is the changing of the guards, and I used to be like, dude, not again. It's the changing of the guards, and it never registered to me until I came home and then I saw exactly what he was saying, trying to convey to me. And that's my same message to my friends. I have 2 phones, and I promise you, I get at least no less than 25, 30 institutional calls a day from the men. I get at least 25 to 30 jail calls a day. You know what I mean? So, I answer the call. I know what it's like for somebody inside to come to the phone and make a phone call and have somebody pick up on the other side. I know what that's like. I know what type of joy that give you for a minute. Take you out of that setting just for a few minutes. That 15 minutes, man, you were able to laugh. If you can, if you can muster up enough strength to smile while you're there, that'll be the time. That and when you're on a visit. And I know what it's like, to receive a piece of mail. Pictures, I send them guys pictures all the time. A lot of little guys say they live through me vicariously, right now. So, I just try to inspire those guys to keep on fighting, because what happened to me, it got a lot of attention. And just like the rest of those guys, we normally see this on TV. But this is somebody, these guys, man, I know him. I slept in the cell with him. I walked the yard with him. I worked out with him. So, and of course now, because of the pandemic, those guys physically can't have visits, but they have virtual visits like this now.
Oh, that's good. California is the same. They can't have visitors since March.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, so this class is wrongful convictions, and we've been going through so far learning about the causes. And we've talked about eyewitness misidentification, alibis, not the alibis as a cause, but they're not believed, snitches, forensic science, faulty forensic science. And as I said in the email, we just finished talking about false confessions. And so I was looking to find someone, and I remembered we had communicated previously to come in and share your experience with the false confession with the students that are here.
Right. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. You know what? It's someone. I'm trying to think. Somebody from the Innocence Project. Was it one of mine? If I can get this video and send it to you, man, you probably drop on the floor when you see it, because it got something to do with false identification. And they show you this brief video. It's really quick. And in the video is a bunch of people. And the video is a bunch of people doing something. And when you're looking at the video, all the people captures your attention looking at the video like I'm looking at you. All the people in the video capture your attention. but the one thing that should capture your attention doesn't. A
Mm.
crime is committed right in front of your face, and I promise you, you won't see who commit the crime, and you won't believe who commit the crime.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person in the video that sticks out like a sore thumb, you'll never put your eye on this person.
Mm-hmm.
And the person is a gorilla. The
Oh
person
yeah,
is a gorilla dressed
I
in a
don't know if I
gorilla.
showed it to this class, but I've definitely used that when I teach. We've got a few updates on it, but there's one now that has a funky chicken. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't saw that one. Yeah, I mean, so that's bad for and for things like this. I mean, such as your class and what's being taught right there. Yeah, I mean, you know, videos like that are so perfect. I mean, you know, in my case, yeah, I mean, I probably was misidentified by everyone. Like, just from the location of where the crime happened at and where they said they saw me at. There's no way you can see me. It's impossible for you to know that's Tony Wright. It's impossible. And person after person got up there and said, yeah, it's him. And then, praise be to God, we was able to prove it the second time around. You know what I mean? You know, everybody said they lied. You know what I mean? Everybody that misidentified me 25 years prior recanted their statement and said we lied. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the police, I mean, you know, during their investigation, they rounded up, they grabbed every kid that was on the corner and threatened them that if they didn't say that Tony Wright was the person that they saw go in his house, they'd be locked up for the rest of their lives, or their parents would be killed, or the cops said something to scare these kids to come to court and identify me. Even adults, people that had pending cases against them, yeah, I mean, for breaking the law, told them if they come testify against me, those cases never won't appear. They won't have to worry about that. And everybody did, yeah, I mean, you know, whatever the cops told them to do, and end up costing me, yeah, I mean, a quarter century of my life, 25 years, I mean, you know, so much time, yeah, I mean, you know, away from my family, I mean, missing my mom, my son, yeah, I mean, missing my son, grow up, my sibling grow up. Yeah, I mean, I was able to do that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, from afar behind the wall. Yeah, I mean, but I wasn't able to tuck my son in at night. I wasn't able to go pick my son up from school, and yeah, I mean, you know, some of the things that a father do with his kids. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't at football practice, you know, for my son, and I was a really good football player, and you know, I missed out on that with my son and my brother. You know what I mean? Because both of them was big time. Both of them was really big time in school. You know what I mean? So why it didn't go past the 12th grade, I have no idea. It's crazy, man. So I don't want to think about it. You know, that 25 years don't consume a minute of my life. I don't think about it unless I'm talking about it, like right now. Other than that, I just live my life. I'm here now, yeah, I mean, and you know, I worry about the day, don't think about tomorrow, yeah, I mean, so just trying to get through the day is hard enough, yeah, I mean, I get through tomorrow, amen, you know, so, you know, that sort of thing. I've been through so many funerals, a guy that just came home 27 years was killed, yeah, I mean, somebody drugged him and shot him up and OD'd him. Yeah, I mean, and I just helped pay for that funeral, and then put him in the ground about 3 weeks ago. He was a good friend of mine. Him and his brother was locked up together. His older brother is still in, and he only got out now because he was a juvenile, and you can't sentence juvenile to life anymore. You know what I mean? So everybody that was juvenile has since been resentenced in the last 3 or 4 years, have been resentenced, and a lot of those men are able to come home now. You know what I mean? And the good thing about it, everybody is really grown now, really grown, and you know, they always look for a way to say, this is why these guys shouldn't be out. But everybody has been on their best behavior. You know what I mean? Everybody has come home and found the lady, married her, had kids, and now have a family and go to work every day. And I deal with so many of those guys on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I just got off the phone right before your message came through. I was on the phone with two of them just now. Two guys that just came home. One is Exoneree like myself, 27 years, and another one is a juvenile lifer that was in for like 26 years. You know what I mean? So I was just on the phone with both of them. Yeah, I mean, we're close. You know what I mean? We check on each other, keep each other accountable. You know what I mean? Every day. You know what I mean? Just, you know, just call, see how you doing, or text. You know what I mean? So I do that every day, man. So yeah. So
yeah, I've noticed that there seems to be a really great support network with exonerees, and like you said, with other people that have gotten out. How important do you think that is for people once they get out of prison?
it's very important. Listen. That type of situation affects every man. We all different. All of us is different. Ain't nobody in this world the same. But that type of situation affects everybody differently. And again, uh, 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 with my support system, you know what I mean, just encouraging me. And one of the things I used to tell the younger guys all the time in prison when I used to speak to the younger guy, and I used to tell them, yeah, I mean, don't become institutionalized. Don't become institutionalized. Be able to think outside the box. What I mean by that, each year you're in prison, the further you get away from your community, the further you're away from your family. Each year you're in prison, the older you get. Each year you're in prison, the older your sister get, your wife get, your mother you get, your grandmother you get. Each year you're in prison, you lose somebody in your family, your grandmother, your grandfather, brother, sister, whoever. And then some people there so long, they lose everybody, their entire family. So what I mean is, don't become institutionalized. When that happened, or when that started happening, guys are no longer able to think outside the box, meaning think outside that wall. Because when them people start dying off, you start having less communication with the outside world. You start having less communication with the outside world. Then your body and your mind become entrapped into that box that you're stuck in physically. Your mind's supposed to be always free. You know what I mean? Physically, you're stuck. Your mind can never be stuck. They can never put no shackles on your brain. You know, and so a lot of guys fall victim to everything that's going on inside the jail. And that's all they want to talk about. I've never once had a conversation about what was going on inside the institution. Yeah, I mean, my mind was always free. I always wanted to know, tell me about the new law that they passed. Tell me about the new something that they passed, man, that'll help my situation. I didn't talk about there are lots of conversations about, you know what I mean, who's doing what on the street, who's driving what car, what girl. That those conversations never crossed my mind or came out my mouth. Yeah, I mean, you know, my situation was, and then to try to escape that, a lot of people, it's hard for men to cope. Yeah, I mean, so they sign up to see a psychologist or psych or somebody that prescribe them some medicine to alter their thought, their brain, and the way they're at, to the point that they no longer know who they are. What's your name? Just be looking at you. You be like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, this guy was so full of life. I remember this guy. He was so thorough, so full of life. What happened to him? And people handle that situation differently. And me, I carry no ill will towards nobody for what has happened to me. I'm a God-fearing man. I believe in God. So, I believe God will take care of those that take care of him. You know what I mean? And I'm God's son. And he will take care of people that wrong me. You got to answer to God, not me. You got to answer for what you did to me, not me. You know what I mean? Again, I'm happy. So, and a lot of people be angry. A lot of people be angry. I said, if you're angry, you're angry all the time. What happened to me changed my life. There's no way I can never forget what happened to me.
No.
You know what I mean? But if I forgive them, I'm able to go by my day to day. And now every time I see a cop, I hate cops. They did this to me. No. And I tell kids, students, not all cops are bad cops. It's some bad cops, but there's a lot of good cops as well. Yeah. And just so happened, it was the bad people that did that to me, not the good people. There was so many cops cheering for me when I came home. There was so many cops that stood up in the courtroom because the judge refused. After I won, I supposed to walk out the court. He said, no, lock him up and send him back to jail one more time. And all the cops was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let him go now. He said, there 25 years. What do you mean let him go back? For what? You know what I mean? And I said, it's fine. I'm going home today. I know that. I'm fine. Thank you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. And it's the same thing with the Innocence Project. Let me tell you something. I mean, let me say this to you. And I get a little tongue-tied when I talk about the Innocence Project, because I can talk about these people. I can talk about these people for the rest of my life, every day, all day. I give you 24 hours. I can talk about these people. Is so amazing. I've never, and it's crazy that you have to go through something like that to be afforded in these type of people. You know what I mean? To come in contact with these type of people, to be in these type of people. Hey, man, I've never met no man or woman on earth like these people. I mean, these people is unbelievable, man. I mean, I love these people as if they got the same blood in their body like I got in mine, like I love my family. I mean, I love these men. I love these women that much. I mean, I even love them more than some people in my family. And my family know that. And my family said, we thought you was crazy if you didn't. and my family loved them. I'm very close with the Innocence Project in New York City. My family's very close with everybody at the Innocence Project in New York City. My kids, my aunts, my cousins, my grandkids. I mean, they are an extension of my family. They truly are. And the social workers there, man, are I ask them all the time, how does it feel? Yeah, I mean, I have a 49-year-old kid. Yeah, I mean, and I'm probably older than my social workers. Yeah, I mean, they're older ladies, but I'm 49, and I believe I'm older than both of them. And I ask them all the time, how does it feel to have a 49-year-old kid? Yeah, I mean, they both definitely mother figures, and they dealt with me so long. They know when yeah, I mean, something ain't right, or yeah, I mean, I'm having a little rocky day. Yeah, I mean, I'm no longer a client. First and foremost, I'm no longer a client of the Innocence Project, and I haven't been a client of the Innocence Project for a few years. And they call me every day as if I'm a client.
Aww.
About 20 about 15 to 20 people call or text me a day from the Innocence Project to check on me, to check on my family, to see if I'm all right. And in a drop of a dime, they will get in their car and come to where I'm at. I'll be there tomorrow. And I love them for that. And it's a shame. A lot of men that like myself and women that was in the situation that I was in, a lot of people refused that type of help. Like, and then I also I settled my case, and I won the biggest settlement in Philadelphia ever. And a lot of men and women, when they get these settlement, they are cut off all ties with the Innocence Project. Like they'll disappear off the face of the earth. And these men and women be out there looking for them just to make sure they're all right, just to say hello, how are you? Yeah, I mean, we're thinking about you. Yeah, I mean, we miss you. Everything the Innocence Project have, I'm there. Everything, I don't care where it's at. Everything they have, I'm there. You know what I mean? Everything they have, I'm always there. You know what I mean? So I made them sign a contract with me that they will be a part of my life until the day I die, or they leave. Somebody leave. But I mean, I love them, and it's a shame that some people push them away, or some people no longer, you know what I mean, because they're exonerated and they're free now, feel the need to no longer have these men and women in their life. I mean, listen, you know, I love these people, man. I mean, they have done so much for me. They continue to do so much for me. I can call any one of them, any one of my attorneys, and I got the biggest settlement probably out of all the men that's coming home, and my attorney probably got the biggest, you know what I mean, settlement money themselves from a client, and sometimes, you know, the lawyers get their money and they go.
Yeah.
But not the people that I dealt with. You know what I mean? Barry Scheck, Nina Morrison, Liza Perensky, Sarah Doody, Sam Silver, Rebecca, every day in my life. You know what I mean? So I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine a day without any one of those guys. You know what I mean? I'm just so grateful, and it's needed. It's needed. You know, you see some of the men that come home and that they are not even a shell of themselves. And for me, and it's funny, I remember right before I came home, and I was in a county jail, and one day I was, you know, I was goofing off, and they called pill line. I mean, you standing on a block, and when it's time for medication, the doctor come on the block and go in the office, or a cell, wherever they serving the medication, and the guards announce medication. And I mean, when they call that, you just better just freeze. Because everybody like zombies. I mean, people just hang up, don't even tell them. They be on the phone with their mother, their father, their sister, their wife. People be on the phone. When they hear medication, they do one thing, click, and just go. Everybody. You be like, whoa, get out the way. Get out the way. Look at them. And just standing back watching that, you be like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And what about the people that are in prison for non-violent crimes? People that you lock them up because they got addicted to a drug? What percentage of the men and women that are in prison like that? It's crazy. Yeah. And then you want to know where mass incarceration comes from. Like, it's insane. It's insane. This lady is sick. Why is she in prison? She didn't commit no crime.
No.
She's addicted to drugs. And he's not hurting nobody but himself. She's not hurting nobody but herself. You know what I mean? Like, why are they there, man? I mean, you got rapists running free, murders running free, but you taking up all this space, worrying about these men and women that are sick, instead of worrying about people that's out there committing crimes. It's insane. And you want to know where the mass incarceration comes from? Prison overcrowding. It's insane. And then people of color, man. You know what I mean? What percentage of the population we make up in every prison? What percentage of the population we make up in every prison? It's sad. Like, it's sad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. You know, I remember when I was growing up, look, that's a prison call right there. Another prison call. You know, every day. Listen.
An inmate at SCI Phoenix State Correctional Institution.
Every day. Hey, babe. Hey, take this call. That's Tyree. That's Weed. Tell him I'm on a Zoom conference call and call back. If you can call back later on, tell him do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I mean, like, every day, and I guarantee you, when we hang up, I never call and come through.
Yeah.
Then I never call. Yeah. I mean, that's insane. Like, what percentage of the prison population? And the crazy part about that is they have units in prison. They have units in prison blocks filled up with these men and women that can't cope in regular population. Instead of locking them up in the hole, they put them on this block where they drug them all day. And every time you see them, it's like they move like zombies. You know what I mean? You know, and those particular people, you know what I mean, they stick them in a carrot suit all day. A carrot suit all day, an orange jumpsuit all day. You know what I mean? You know, they can't function in regular population. So, yeah, I mean, you know, they keep them over here, you know what I mean? And all they do is sleep and eat all day. Sleep and eat all day. Get up and get their drugs, go back to sleep. Get something to eat, you know what I mean? Go back to sleep. It's crazy.
One of the students asked if you were scared when you were being interrogated.
Scared to death. I was 20 years old. And believe it or not, I was 20 years old. And I had very little facial hair. I had little very and I was 20 years old, so it wasn't no gray hair. And I was a pretty big guy. And my voice was almost similar to the way it is now. And hearing all that, I was scared to death. In fact, I was crying like a baby for my mother. I wanted my mother. I kept repeating, I wanted my mother. I want my mother. I want my mother. And I have a short documentary on YouTube. You can Google it. It's called Anthony Wright, Finally Free. And watching the documentary, I tell you in the documentary, I was scared for my life. I was crying like a baby. I wanted my mother. They said, if I sign these papers, I can go home. I wanted my mother. I was in there crying like a baby. I was scared to death. We talking about being accused of murdering somebody, not hurting somebody. We talking about murdering somebody, murder in the first degree. And not only that, because it was a murder in the first degree, that means it was a capital case. So that means if I went to trial and got found guilty, right after they found me guilty, I was just 2 votes away from death. Everybody said, give me death, except for 2 people, which spared my life. You know what I mean? So, and that's another thing that really infuriated my legal team, my attorneys. They couldn't believe that you know, I was almost executed for this crime that I did not commit. When I first was arrested in 1991, DNA was in its infancy stage. When I say infancy stage, it was at a stage where we are human beings. So DNA been around just as long as the first human being was ever created or born. DNA been around forever. But we talking about the DNA for its technology, you know what I mean, that's being brought to the masses of the world today.
Yeah.
In 1991, this type of DNA was in its infancy stage. Even though it was in its infancy stage, it was at a stage and a point where it could have said, definitely it was me, Tony Wright, that killed and raped and robbed this lady. It could have said it. They could have said, hello? I never called. It could have said it was definitely you that committed this crime. So we did that early DNA testing, and the report came back inconclusive. And the lab said if they had to make a report, the report will say nothing they did can link Anthony Wright to this crime. And I still was found guilty. And I never forget it. I will never forget it. I remember when they found me guilty, I was so dumbfounded. I was bad. I couldn't, I was there, but I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, whoa, like what just happened? I'm looking at my mom screaming. I'm like, oh my, like what just happened? And I remember when they made me stand up and handcuff me in the courtroom to take me back upstairs to the holding cell to go back to the institution that I came from, which was the county jail. And when the sheriffs grabbed me, they handcuffed me and put me on the elevator. And when I got on the elevator, they said, face the wall. And I'm facing the wall and I'm shackled. And soon as the conductor of the elevator shut the elevator door, the sheriff told the conductor, yo, stop the elevator for a minute, and told me to turn around. He said, yo, turn around. And when I turned around, I said, what's going on? What's up? He said, yo, what just happened in that courtroom? So I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? He was like, what the freak just happened in that courtroom? He said, yo, everybody's been following your case. How do you get found guilty? I was like, whoa. I was like, man, I said, I hope somebody tell me. I said, I hope somebody tell me, man. Like, I mean, it's like you know, it's like, you know, somebody tell me. And that went on for 25 years. And you know, I remember that. And another thing that stuck out to me that I'll never forget is one of my senior attorneys from the Innocence Project. Name is Nina Marsden. My first attorney. I love her. I mean, Lord, I love this lady so much. She's been with me way longer than any attorney ever been with a client, and she refused to leave. And when I met this lady, she was 9 months pregnant, and she looked like she was about 20 years pregnant. I've never seen a woman's stomach that big. And when I first met her, she said, we gonna get it done. We're gonna bring you home. And this was 15 years prior to me coming home. She said, we're gonna get you home. And then she said, when we finish, they're gonna love you. And I said, lady, I said, is you crazy? What the hell are you talking about? They're gonna love me. I said, everybody hate me. Yeah, I mean, I'm in jail accused of murdering a 77-year-old woman, raping a 77-year-old woman. Yeah, I mean, that's the most despised thing anybody can come to jail for, doing something, a crime to a woman or a child. And I was there for doing something not only to a woman, but a 77-year-old woman. And she said they're gonna love me. And I looked at her like she was crazy. And I'll never forget when she told me that the first time I met her. And that popped back in my head when I was exonerated. And I didn't know what she meant until I was exonerated. Every cop that was involved in my case, every single one was corrupt. Every man or woman that had their hand involved in my case was corrupt. Every single person.
Did they get fired?
And, yeah, everybody got fired.
Okay.
No. Well. Of course, all of that was when I came on. It was 25 years.
Oh, they might have been done anyways.
Yeah, 4 years now. It's 29. So everybody was retired. Everybody was retired, as far as all the cops. But every DA got fired since my case.
Okay.
Everybody. They fired. So what she meant by that was every cop that was involved in my case was corrupt. Man and woman. Everybody was corrupt. And when I came home, I didn't understand what she meant by "they're gonna love you." You would have thought, it seemed like every man and woman that were in prison went to jail when I went to prison. Because my case was Pandora's box. My case is the reason why everybody is coming home right now today. You know what I mean? My case freed over 1,000 people in 4 years. My case alone freed over 1,000 men and women in 4 years because all these corrupt cops was on all these cases.
Yeah.
And we never knew it until my case exposed the corruption that was going on in the judicial system right here in Pennsylvania. So all these guys come on, man. I mean, and everybody's continuing to come on. I get guys, they call all day. They say, man, everybody got your case in they cell. Everybody, the whole institution. And they must got my number on the wall. People be calling, don't even know. Or people had their family look me up on Facebook or Instagram to ask me some questions. Yo, my brother is in the situation he was in, and the cops that was on your case is on to everybody. Somebody from on Facebook, every day at least 5 or 6 people find me. That families find me of somebody that's incarcerated to ask me some questions. You know what I mean? To try to help their loved one. It's insane. It's insane. But yeah, I was scared to death. I was in there crying like a baby. I was crying like a baby for my mother. I wanted my mother. I've never missed my mother so much. And that short time that they took me from my mother house and the time I was in there being interrogated, I wanted my mother. I never missed my mother in a short time so much in my life until that day. Yeah, I mean, like I couldn't stand being away from my mother. I wanted my mother so bad.
Well, I found the Tony Wright story, so I'll give that to the students and we'll watch it. Like you said, I do actually, have to go to my next class, but I wanted to thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Yes.
And turning down some of the calls that you're getting during class.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, man, those guys understand. I mean, those guys understand. I mean, some of them students in that class, in your class today, might be some of the people that free some of them, those young people those young people in your class today. A couple years from now, might be some of the young people that help free a lot of these men and women that's out there in California. What's happening to me isn't just happening in Pennsylvania. It's happening in California. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Florida. It's happening in New York. It's happening everywhere. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, these men that call my phone, they truly understand. Yeah, I mean, when I'm working and I'm in these engagements, these engagements could potentially help them. Yeah, I mean, some years down the line, and in short, before you go, your students, or students anywhere, any students that are in any type of university setting or in any place of higher learning, I refer to students as flow. I call students anywhere, flow, FLOW. They are the future leaders of the world. They are the future leaders of the world. So you know, I refer to students anywhere and everywhere as flow. They are the future leaders of the world, and they are in a great place to start that leadership. They are in a great place to start that leadership, and I want to thank you. Yeah, I mean for having the patience to you know what I mean, you know, have a job and a career doing what you're doing. You know what I mean, teaching these students. You know what I mean, so people like you is definitely necessary, and I'm grateful. You know what I mean, for you as well. Thank you.
Well, in the chat, you've got a lot of thank yous.
Thank you.
You are truly an inspiration to everyone. And thank you for your time, your story. It's really appreciated. So they like to chat and not necessarily talk, but that's,
Okay.
I wanted to let you know that.
That's fine. You guys are great. And another thing, I've done so many speaking engagements since in a short time, 4 years since I've been home, since I was exonerated and acquitted, and I've spoken. Feel like I've spoken everywhere, whether it's churches, masjids, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, universities. I get the same response every time out, and there's no engagements I like doing more than speaking to the future leaders of the world, those students, to inspire those students. Let me tell you a story real quick, real brief. The lady that I was in prison for, the lady that I was accused of committing this heinous crime against, since my exoneration and release from prison 4 years ago, I become best friends with her great niece. And her great niece have a younger daughter and a younger son, who both are college students, who are both now, since my 4 years, are college graduates. So when I first came home, they both were enrolled at Temple University.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
and they both were, yeah, they both was enrolled at Temple University. And the young lady, her name is Lauren Coleman. Her mom is Shannon. Her name is Lauren, and her brother name is Devin. And both of them refused to call me anything but Uncle Tony. And me and her, their mom, become best friends. And Lauren changed her major to whatever it was to criminal justice. And then she left Temple after 2 years and went to Miami and graduated. And now her first job was able to get her a job at the very office that convicted me, the DA's office in Philadelphia. Yeah, I mean, and she worked for the head DA, and which is Larry Krasner. He's a great man, and his right hand, which is a lady by the name of Patricia Cummins. She run the integrity unit there, and she's the lady responsible for reviewing all the cases of the men and women that are already incarcerated, and that the corrupt cops was involved with. So she's in charge of reviewing all these cases, having all these cases being reviewed and overturned, and she's doing a hell of a job. And they fired the old regime that was there just a couple years ago when they got there, and they fired everybody. Everybody down there is new, and they're doing an amazing job.
That's good.
Amazing job, man. So I just wanted to share that story with y'all about Lauren. You know what I mean? So it's unbelievable, man. So again, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yep. All right.